All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving right into a massive shift that's happening as we speak, how AI is completely rewriting the rules of the job market. We're not just going to talk about the scary stuff, though. We're going to break down a clear, actionable survival guide, all based on some really sharp insights from tech entrepreneur Vaibhav Sisinty.
So let's just cut to the chase, right? Let's start with the one question that is on literally everyone's mind. It is the elephant in the room, the fear behind all the hype. Is my job safe from AI?
Well, to really answer that, we have to look past all the noise and get to the hard truth. And according to some people who are deep in this stuff, the reality isn't some slow, gradual change. It's more like a shock to the system.
That's a pretty intense warning, right? But what does a massacre actually look like in this context? Well, it means that any job that's built on repetitive, templated work, it's basically facing extinction. AI is getting incredibly good at replicating existing patterns, and that puts those kinds of roles directly in the crosshairs.
And look, this isn't some far-off prediction for 2030. This is happening right now. For example, if you look at placement rates for new engineers, they've already dropped from a pretty typical 10% all the way down to just 6%. Career paths that we used to think of as a sure thing are, well, they're starting to get shaky.
So, what's actually causing this? The entire business model for huge industries like IT is being turned upside down. The old way was to outsource work to big teams of people that were cheaper. But the new way? You just deploy AI agents that can write better code, and they can do it 100 times faster. It's a total game changer.
And just to be clear, this is not theoretical stuff. I mean, think about this. A sales team of 40 people gets replaced by a single AI agent. An engineering team gets slashed from 15 people down to 5, and they end up shipping more product. Even a behemoth like Meta is openly planning to replace a huge chunk of its mid-level engineers with AI. The impact is real and it is radical.
So this new reality is creating this feeling that's being called skill paranoia. That feeling that any new skill you learn today could be totally useless tomorrow. And in this kind of environment, that classic advice to just specialize in one little thing, that's not really the safe bet it used to be. We need a totally new strategy.
What this world needs now is a brand new kind of professional, the AI generalist. And this isn't about being a deep expert in just marketing or just design. No, this is about mastering one powerful meta skill, the ability to solve pretty much any problem in any field using AI.
Traditionally, companies were built like a pyramid of specialists. You had your coders, your marketers, your designers. They made up like 80% of the team. And then you had just a few generalists at the top whose job was to connect all the dots.
Well, that whole model is getting flipped on its head, completely. The team of the future is going to be 80% AI generalists who can tackle a massive range of problems. And they'll be supported by a small, elite group of specialists who basically act like high-level consultants. The whole pyramid is turning upside down.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, great, but how do I actually become an AI generalist? It might sound like a huge task, but there's a really clear 5-level roadmap that anyone can follow to get there. This roadmap takes you all the way from just being curious about AI to being someone who can build and deploy complex AI systems. It's a step-by-step guide to getting the skills you need. Let's break it down.
It all starts at level 0. And the goal here is super simple. Just play. Seriously. Don't try to master anything, just get your hands dirty. Explore tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. Just get a feel for what's even possible. You gotta build that foundation of curiosity first.
Then, at level 1, you go from just playing around to really understanding what's going on. This is all about mastering prompt engineering, which is basically the art of talking to an AI. It's where you learn how to ask the right questions to get the exact results you want.
Okay, now things get really cool. At level 3, you expand way beyond just text. This is where you master multimedia AI. You'll learn how these things called diffusion models can create incredible images, video clips, and even audio, all from just a simple sentence.
Level 4 is all about turning what you know into something tangible. It's about proving you can do the work. Using no-code platforms, you actually start building real applications. This isn't theory anymore. It's about creating a portfolio that shows people you can get things done with AI.
And finally, level 5. This is the big one, the pinnacle, building AI agents. Here, you use automation tools to create systems that can do research, send emails, and execute complex tasks for you 24/7. This is where you truly unlock your power as an AI generalist.
So, once you have these skills, the whole conversation changes. It stops being about just surviving and keeping your job. Instead, it becomes about creating new value and jumping on these incredible business opportunities that are suddenly wide open.
This opens up a totally new way of thinking about entrepreneurship. Forget the old goal of building one massive unicorn company. With AI, you can develop things so fast that it's actually easier to build 10 smaller, super profitable businesses than it is to build one giant one. The new game is all about replication, not just scale.
And these aren't some pie-in-the-sky ideas. Here are just a few businesses that anyone with these skills could start, like today. You could start an automation agency that helps small businesses use AI. Or a vibe coding studio that builds custom AI tools for individuals. Or even a service as a software company that sells AI-powered customer support. And this really brings us to the most important point of all. The true power of AI isn't actually about replacing us. It's about amplifying original human thinking. AI can execute on our ideas faster than we ever could, but it still needs that spark of a new idea. A spark that can only come from a person. Which, brings us right back to where we started. This change is already happening. The tools are right there, they're more accessible than ever, so the only real question left is a personal one for you. Are you going to be the one who embraces this change to bring your own ideas to life, or will you be left behind? The choice really is yours.